Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first week of Physics 150 for the new fall term. I hope you all are doing well and you're ready to do some physics here. I just want to introduce myself to you and also tell you a few things about the class so you can kind of get ready. And I didn't put all that in the announcement writing, so I just thought I'd come on here and do this. And I do this about once a week, I guess, so I can introduce myself to you and then make sure you know that I'm around. Couple of things to know. You've got some things to acquire. Probably the most important is the textbook and the lab kit. There were instructions in my announcements earlier. If you look below this, you'll find them for acquiring the lab kit. And the lab kit's very important to have by next week. That's when we start doing our labs. And so you want to get that, if you've not already done it, you want to get that started so you can get that. They send that to you directly. I don't think there's any cost to you at all. It should be just part of your fees that you've already paid. And the little experiments and the things that come with it are actually kind of fun, kind of interesting. And you also get some nifty little, I'm going to call them toys, but also lab equipment too to play with. But that's very important for you to do. If you need help with that, you can contact me or your advisor. I think that should be, should be able to get you some help on that. But I think the instructions are fairly clear in my announcements. Those are the ones I know about. And I have nothing to do with that at all other than knowing where to acquire them. The textbook that you should be getting through the bookstore, online bookstore, should be you'll get a link to that to have the book download for you. If that's not working for some reason, if it shows like something's expired or something, that probably means that the link was corrupted at some point. Those are easy to fix, but Cengage has to do that. What I'll do this week is I'll send you a link in an email and probably an announcement too, to have that ready, because typically that happens to a few students, and I have no control over that either, but I just want to let you know how to fix it. It's a very quick fix. If you contact Cengage, they can fix that and give you a good link real quickly. A couple of little things here. Let's go over the work for this week. This week it's mainly an introduction. The discussion is primarily that, because you've not learned anything from the class yet. So this discussion, we say, it says in the assignment to discuss some attributes of velocity and speed that you might find in your daily activities. That's fine. What I'm more interested in also is how you feel about the class and what you'd like to learn here, if anything. Again, it's mainly an introduction, but it's important that you get these in on time. The first initial post is due on Thursday night, and by midnight to have the possibility of full credit. And you need to get 2 responses to your peers before Sunday. That's just the school's rule, not really mine, but I like to support that. You have some WebAssign activities to do this week. You'll have a few problems due every week. It's not that many, but if you need help with those, I'll be happy to try and help you out with them. If you contact me in the WebAssign app, that will allow me to see what your question is pretty precisely and also how best to answer it. The final thing to look about this week is just kind of get ready for next week's, maybe it's in 2 weeks. I think it's Unit 3 when we get our first project. All the projects really are more detailed assignments with a little bit more work to them, and some so if you've done the work, WebAssign in week 1 and week 2, by the time you get to that, you should be in fine shape. You also have to do some lab work. I think there are 3 labs also, and that's what you have your kits for. and those start next week. So we have to do those. So please make sure you've got your kit ordered, and they will come to your home probably by FedEx, and that's how mine came anyway, in a big box. So that should be it. Okay, now let's get on to some other things about how I grade these things. I don't grade unless you ask me to. I don't look at your WebAssign homework at all. That's graded automatically. All I do is transpose that into the grade book, and I'll do that early in the following week. And I believe you're automatically allowed some extensions. And if you need to ask me for an extension to keep access to the unit WebAssign, if you ask me ahead of time, that's easy. I'll do that, because some of these assignments, I'll tell you, that it's pretty sporting, and you want to get that done correctly. So that's WebAssign, and your labs and your projects need to be posted during the week that when they're due. If you post them in the following week, unless you've talked to me ahead of time, I will probably take some percentage off. I believe it's 10% for the first one, and I believe the school's guidance is if you're 2 weeks late with an assignment, I'm not supposed to accept it. So I probably won't. But if you ask me about it ahead of time, I'm having a lot of trouble, I will help you, and I will probably accept it if you talk about it with me first. But don't just assume that. Okay, finally, and this is important, I need to let you, I've discovered, and I need to all know this is true, a lot of documents can be found in different online help activities like Course Hero or something like that. Don't use those. If you use those and turn it in, app we use traces it back to that, I'll take off, the first time it happens, I'll take off some credit, not a lot, but I will let you know about it. And if you don't like that, you can probably appeal it. So just don't do it. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's more work for you and for me if I have to go through and figure out who's not doing their work properly. And WebAssign is a pretty accurate tool, so please don't do that. Don't pull up other students' work from Course Hero or wherever you get them, and expect me to be too sympathetic about that. Now, I'll be happy to work with you. If you don't understand something, ask me. I'm happy to help you. Okay, I guess that's it. I'm looking forward to the class. I usually learn something more in these classes, so I like to do that. I hope you enjoy the class. I think it's kind of fun and kind of interesting, and it's not that difficult, honest to goodness. Scout's honor. I guess I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. Anyway, you have a good day, and if you have any questions at all, please contact me. I'm happy to help you always. Bye-bye.